Yo guys, what is up and welcome back to the channel. This video we're going to be talking about the BRZ. Now this is a video I wanted to do. It's been a long time since I wanted to do it, never got the chance to doing it, and now since we're locked up at home, I said why not. It's a perfect opportunity to get this video made. So right behind me, as you can see here, we've got my MY15 Subaru BRZ, which I've purchased brand new. I'll pop the bonnet now. Give you guys a little look of the engine bay. Alright, so here is my BRZ. Purchased this car brand new, obviously. If you are an OG viewer, you will know that because I've made one full feature video on this. As you can see, turbo, SME kit. Got the oil cooler there. Turbo smart blow valve, and that's the car. And today we're going to talk about 5 reasons why you shouldn't turbo your BRZ. Alright guys, let me break it down to you before you all go telling me why not turbo your BRZ. That's all BRZ and 86 and FRS owners want to do. Turbo them, because that's all everyone talks about and that's a topic of discussion for these cars. But also let me tell you, with turboing an NA car, you are going to find problems. They might not be major, they might be major, but there's always going to be those issues underlying once you turbo the NA motor. So let me tell you, before you turbo an NA car, you have to understand that these cars were not produced turbo from factory, which means smaller brakes, which means weaker drivetrain, which means the car is not built for a turbo setting. Basically, once you turbo the car, you have to upgrade all those things to go with it. So now I'm going to break it down to you guys. I'm going to give you 5 reasons why you shouldn't be turboing your NA car, especially your BRZ 86 FRS. But turbo your Supra, because Supra needs to be turbo, and Supras were made turbo from factory. If you don't know what I'm talking about, check out our channel. We turboed this beast as well from NA to turbo. You'll like what you see there. Alright guys, so here we've got my BRZ engine popped, about to talk to you about the 5 reasons why you shouldn't be turboing this. First reason, and pretty much the reason that everyone talks about on these cars, and what happened to me personally in this car, was the scariest thing and the worst thing and the worst feeling was breaking the gearbox on this. So as you all may know, whoever's the owner of a FRS 86 BRZ, these gearboxes are like glass. They're like the S15 gearboxes. They're both, I think they're both ASIN gearboxes. I'm not sure if they're exactly the same, but they're very similar. As soon as you put a slight bit of power, a slight bit of torque into these gearboxes, they are prone to breaking. Now, the main thing that breaks these gearboxes is torque. Anything over 400 Newton meters of torque, your gearbox is gone, see you later. So these gearboxes don't like anything over 400 Newton meters of torque. I think mine's tuned around 350, just a bit over, as the tuner recommended. The turbo can go more than that, but he didn't recommend doing so. A couple of years ago I put a video on the channel that we took this car track racing as soon as I put the turbo kit in. And the last lap of the day, yep, I blew my gearbox. So once we'd taken it apart and we saw what was wrong with it, it was the 4th synchrome in the gearbox was grinded, and that's what caused my 4th gear to break. Now, there is an upgrade kit for this. Get 1st to 4th upgraded gears, PPG make them, they're an awesome kit, and you can get 1st to 6th as well. But most people go from 1st to 4th because that's a gear just smashing it in. 5th and 6th is usually just used on the highway for cruising, and you're not really in high torque applications in those gears. But the main gear that usually pops is 4th gear. Once you hear upgraded gearbox, that means big money. So that's the first thing to note when turboing your FRS 86 BRZ. Think about your gearbox too. As long as you got power underneath around say 300 horsepower, because bear in mind, this car's running 340 horsepower at the wheels. Now standard, these cars run 200 horsepower at the wheels. Now think about it, that is almost double the power. It's basically 60 horsepower under double the power. So you're going to put a lot of strain on all the parts on this car. So there is an upgrade kit, just so you know. It is a PPG gear set. That's one I've been looking at closely. Just haven't gotten around to doing it yet because I haven't really been driving the car much. And other than being on the track, it's actually been good for me. So street driving, it's okay, but once you track it, make sure you've got an upgraded gear set. Another issue these gearboxes had was they had, once on cold start, you go to drive your car, first and second gear from brand spanking new, literally 10 k's on the car, the first to second gear would grind. Now, a lot of people have been asking me, I made a previous video about fixing the gearbox grind. I didn't make a video saying if it's fixed or not. So a lot of people have been asking me, is this issue actually fixed from what I've done previously? And to answer all your questions, so far so good. The additive I did put in my gearbox has been working. So it's been over 2 years now driving with that additive in the gearbox. First to second, on cold starts, on cold drives, all through third, fourth, fifth, sixth gear. No grinding at all, no clunking at all. The gearbox drives very smooth now. But I haven't been on the track ever since, so it's a bit of a mixed discussion. That's the main reason as to why I haven't answered all your questions for that. But for now, street driving and a little bit of highway pulls, it's going alright. Okay, now reason 2 why you shouldn't be turboing your BRZ is the rear axles in these cars are prone to braking. As soon as you go over that 400 horsepower mark, over that 400 torque mark, say goodbye to your rear axles. My axles have never broken yet in this car, but I guess that's because of my tyres. I have no grip in this car. First, second and third is just wall spinning all the time, so I am going to need tyres. And with that, I'm actually going to go for a semi-slick street tyre, and that's going to put more grip to the ground, which means more grip in the axles, which means possible axle failure, snap in half or snap off the hubs, and it's very dangerous and very annoying. Now there is upgrades to put stronger axles in this. I know Drive Shaft Shop do an 86 FRS BRZ axle upgrade, which is a thicker axle than factory. I'll put a photo up right now so you can see the difference. And Nicole was telling me with his IS300 that the BRZ diff bolts up straight into his IS300 to make it a LSD. So if the BRZ diff bolts straight up to his car with his original IS300 axles, which are also thicker, what goes to tell you that the IS300 axles don't go straight into the BRZ? So that's one thing to think about too. Haven't looked it up, haven't heard of anyone doing it, but it was an idea that arose from Nicole, so I am going to be looking that up. But the main proven way to fix this problem is the Drive Shaft Shop axles. Whoever has them, work a treat, never broken axles since. Guys, problem number 3 as to reasons that you shouldn't be turboing your BRZ is possible engine failure. Now there is a few reasons as to why you can get engine failure from these engines. First of all, the FA20 wasn't designed for a turbo. Even though you see this massive area here for a turbo, the engine was not designed for a turbo. These also have conrod failures. Conrods are known to bend, they're known to crack, they're known to smash through the sides of the block. We haven't copped any of those engine failures, but you can also take precautions to not go this way. The second part of engine failure. These engines get very, very, very hot from factory. A lot of the 86 FRS BRZ owners know, if you have an oil temp gauge, you will know that your car will normally be running 85 to 90, even 95 degrees on a hot day. Standard street driving. Highway driving, you'll probably go down to like 87, 90 degrees. That's degrees Celsius because we're here in Australia. And that is why I've put an oil cooler on, which will also bring those temps down and make your engine last that little bit longer. So that's another thing to note. If you are turboing your BRZ, make sure you get an oil cooler. Thermostatic oil coolers are usually the best ones to go for, or a known brand. I've gone with the Harrop Engineering oil cooler. Comes with the oil cooler core that sits right in front of my intercooler there. It's painted black, looks nice and neat, and it's a must on these cars. And for your engine to also run cooler, I've gone with an E85 Flex Fuel kit. The Flex Fuel E85 keeps the cylinders cooler. Even at the same boost levels, you will have more power and your engine will be more reliable. Guys, reason number 4 not to turbo your FRS 86 BRZ is right here. I'll bring it up right now so I can show you guys a close-up. Let me show you guys what's happening here. Guys, I've got the biggest bumper sag. I've had that ever since I've put the turbo kit in, and I just can't seem to get away from it. It's so depressing. Guys, there is actually ways to prevent getting bumper sag here. See, the bumper sticks out, I push it in, but it just comes out because the intercooler pipe that goes onto the intercooler basically is touching on the inside. Now, in SME's revised kit, so the newest kit on the market, they've actually made the whole aluminium piping go into the intercooler. They've actually made it in a silicon thing to prevent this from happening. And yes, it does prevent it happening, but I don't know how I feel about having the whole thing from the turbo all the way to the intercooler as one silicon piece. It may be good, it may be bad, mixed argument there, but that is one way of making sure you don't have this bumper sag. Now there is a kit, I'm pretty sure there's a kit that you can bolt here and here, basically pulls your bumper in and eliminates that bumper sag. But I don't want to put external things on there, guys. I don't want to ruin the outside of the car by putting something to hold it in there. So if you guys know how to fix this, please hit me up. Let me know in the comments of how I can possibly fix that, because that is the only thing I hate about this car at the moment. I can't stop looking at it. Now guys, this is my last and 5th reason why you shouldn't be turboing your BRZ 86 FRS. Now, here I live in Sydney, Australia. It is very hard to turbo this car and get insurance, get registration, and be allowed to insure the car properly by having these modifications. Now, I know in Queensland and I know in Melbourne and other parts in Australia, you can put a mod plate on your vehicle, which means it has been checked by an engineer and they have put a plate in your engine bay like so, just like the compliance plate you have here. They actually put one from their engineering shop which says yes, it's certified, yes, it's safe, you can have this car on the road. But in doing so, once that is mod plated, the RMS knows that your car has been turboed. So that means your insurance premiums go up and through the roof. And when I tell you up, I don't mean by a couple of $100s, I mean by thousands. Literally, before this car was turboed, their insurance cost will be around about $1,500, $1,600 a year. So that's 12 months of full insurance. Anything that happens to the car, if you get in a crash, if you get in a prank, the insurance company will fix it just the way it was. Now, this year when I insured it, I told them I had all these modifications done to it. So I have my AP Racing big brake kit, my rims, my turbo kit, oil coolers, E85. So basically all the mods I've had on this car, I told them I had all these mods, and I contacted at least 5 insurance companies. The lowest insurance company will insure me for $4,500 a year, okay? And the value of the car only went up by like $5,000. So in my eyes, it's not worth it. It's not worth that insurance cost. You're paying the extra $3,000, and that's another company came to me with some ridiculous price like $6,000. Now I don't know if that's because of my age, but I just can't justify that. So that is my 5th reason as to why you shouldn't turbo your BRZ 86 FRS, is that the insurance premiums are through the roof, and good luck if they will even insure you. Other than that, this car is an awesome car to drive. Everything on it is perfect and just the way I like it. It's always a pleasure to drive. Every time you take it out, you feel like you're going for a thrill, you're going for a cool ride. What can I say, guys? It's just that car I've had since brand new, and every time I jump in the thing, it just gives me thrills. It's I can't explain it. Just look how good it looks, man. Look how good she looks. With those deep dish rims next to her older brother. Mint, love it. Guys, that is my 5 reasons why you shouldn't be turboing your 86 BRZ FRS. I know people will have other issues that they've came across while doing this. It is a fun car to drive, but you will be running into all those problems that I said. And if you're not running into these problems, you'll be having other problems. Like another problem that I didn't mention, okay, which I've already upgraded, is with turboing your car, you're going to have double the power, which means you need double the stopping power. That's why I have upgraded to 2-piece rotors and big 4-pot AP Racing brakes, which once you mod plate it, the engineer will require you to have that sort of brake setup before they engineer your car. So that's another thing that you have to keep in mind, guys. So I'm gonna wrap this one here. Thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed this quick 5 reasons why video. If you like this sort of video, be sure to let me know in the comments. Maybe I'll do a video on the Supra, 5 reasons why you shouldn't be turboing that. Let me know, guys. Maybe you don't like this sort of video, maybe you do. Keep us active in the comments. We love that. We love when you guys interact with us. Anyways, guys, we'll cap this one here. Thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed this video. Give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel if you like this sort of content. And don't forget to follow us on Instagram also. I'll leave it right here. It's automotive8ed_. And we'll catch you in the next one. Peace.